What is Selenium?
It is a free source automation tool.
It is the
Free source, open source, free source automation tool.
yes free source automation tool. Is it a testing tool?
Yeah, it is a testing tool as well.
Selenium is an open source automation functional testing tool. See, Selenium is an open source automation functional testing tool. Now, what is an open source? Open source means free of cost. There is no license. If you want to use Selenium, if net is available, simply we can download and we can use it. That is called as open source. What is open source? Without license, if net is available, we can download and we can use it. That is called as open source, free of cost. My second question: what is an automation? What is an automation? What is automation?
Without manual intervention, we can execute the test cases.
Yes, yes, yes. Without manually, as a test engineer, directly, we don't want to interact with application. There is one interface is there between application and test engineer, that is called as one tool. Suppose in manual testing, as a test engineer, we are preparing test cases. We are preparing test cases. Whereas automation, we can convert these test cases into test scripts by using some tool. That is called as automation. Suppose in your home, if you want to operate TV, how to operate it? By using remote control. So there is one remote control is there. By using that, we can operate the TV. Suppose if remote is not there, it is not working, then how to operate TV manually? We can operate it. So what is an automation? Automation means the process of converting test cases into test scripts is known as automation. The process of converting test cases into test scripts by using some tool is known as automation. So you can use any tool, either it is a Selenium or it is a QTP, Silk Test, Rational Rover, Renorex, any tool you can use it. The process of converting manual test cases into some programming test script is called as automation. So why we go for automation? Is there any advantages? Is there any advantages are there to go automation? There are some advantages are there. So what are the advantages? The main purpose of automation is we can save the time. We can save the time. Yes. Second thing, reduce CTC, cost to the company. Reduce cost to the company means if it is a manual testing, suppose a project required 8 members test engineers, whereas in automation we can reduce the manpower. So automatically 3 to 4 automation testings are sufficient. Automatically we can reduce cost to the company. And here main thing is one time we can generate the script and any number of times we can execute. That is called as scripts are repeatable. Only one time we can generate and we can use any number of times. That's why we can call it as a scripts are repeatable. And at the time of execution time, accuracy in results also. By using manual testing, it is some difficult. Whereas in automation, it is very, very easy. That is called as accuracy in the results also. And one more, at the time of automation tool, if we can execute, we can get the test report also. We can get test report from the tool. Whereas in manual testing, we can generate the test report. Whereas in automation, once the execution is completed, automatically tool will provide the results also. Test report also we can get from the tool. Finally, we can ensure for quality. we can ensure for quality. So these are all the common advantages for every automation, not only the Selenium. Here we are discussing the advantages of automation. What are the advantages? We can save the time, reduce cost to the company, scripts are repeatable, accuracy in results, we can get the test report from the tool, and we can ensure for quality. These are all the advantages for any automation tool. Now, here I can mention clearly it is one of the functional testing tool. Simply you can write Selenium is an automation tool. Yes. Selenium is one of the open source tool. Yes. Selenium is one of the testing tool. But why I am mentioned here, it is one of the open source automation functional testing tool. Why it is a functional means? So how many types of automation tools are there? Types of automation tools. There are four categories are there in automation. The first category is functional tools. Second category is performance tools. Third category is defect tracking or defect reporting tools. The fourth category, security. These are all the four categories. Functional tools.
Hello?
Yes, Sirisha, any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. So functional tools means by using these tools, we are able to verify only the functional behavior of application. Functional behavior means every application of functionalities. Not only the application, anything else some functionalities are there. Suppose pen is there. What is the functionality of the pen? What is the functionality of the eraser? What is the functionality of the pencil? Chair, everything. So everything has some functionality. Suppose you can observe here notepad is there. So the main functionality of notepad is if you want to write anything, you can write it and you can save it. So you can see here minimize button. If I click it, it will minimize. If I want to click here, it will maximize. If I want to click on this, the functionalities before closing, we will get one message. Do you want to save the changes or not? So like that, these are called as the functionalities. Every application has some functionality. So we can check that the functional behavior of application by using these tools. What are the tools comes under these functional tools? Selenium, QTP, Silk Test, Rational Robo, Lisa, Tosca, Renorex. This is upcoming tool, Renorex. These are all the functional tools. So by using these tools, we can verify the functional behavior of application. Performance. By using these tools, we can conduct performance testing, means load, stress, scalability, stability of the application, everything we can check it. Those tools are load runner and JMeter. Defect tracking. As a test engineer, the main intention is to identify the defects. So once we identify, how to intimate it to the developer by using these defect tracking tools. Those are QC, Bugzilla, Zira, Mantis BT, ClearQuest, Issue Tracker, T Tracker, D Tracker, multiple are there. Security tool to conduct this security testing. One tool is there, AppScan. So these are all the types of the tools: functional tools, performance tools, defect tracking tools, and security tools. So Selenium comes under functional tool. So what is the Selenium? Selenium is one of the open source automation functional testing tools. So okay, that is about the Selenium. So Selenium is not only automation tool, not only testing tool, one of the open source automation functional testing tool. So what is automation? Here I am giving the definition. The process of converting test cases into test script by using some tool is known as automation. What are the advantages are there? We can save the time, reduce cost to the company, scripts are repeatable, we can ensure for the quality, we can get the test report from the tool. All these are advantages for automation. Next, how many types of tools are there? Four categories: functional, performance, defect tracking, and security tools. Now, in functional tools, Selenium is there, QTP is there, Silk test, rational number multiple are there. Then my question is, why are you going for Selenium? Just you can learn QTP or you can learn Renorex, Lee Satoska. Why are you going for Selenium? What is the reason?
because it is open source.
Okay. So open source means generally why we go for Selenium means there are so many openings, opportunities are there. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's why we go for the Selenium. Why the opportunities are there means Selenium is an open source. Because nowadays US, UK and Australia, London, in every market, Selenium is the very famous automation testing tool. Why? Because the previously the popular tool is QTP. Now the popular tool is Selenium. Yes, previously I am giving training on QTP also, but now the tool is Selenium. Why? Because the main purpose is the main concept. Selenium is a open source. QTP is a commercial and cost. Means it is the licensed version. Minimum single system seed license is 8 to 10 lakhs cost is there. 8 to 10 lakhs. Suppose if I can use multiple systems, concurrent license, minimum 20 to 25 lakhs cost is there. So the main purpose is Selenium is an open source. Who introduced QTP? Who introduced?
Mercury.
Yes, Mercury is the company who introduced QTP. The first version of QTP is Windrunner. After that, they can add some advantage. They can give in the QTP. Now the QTP name was changed as a UFT. So now this company is handled by HP company. Suppose if I want to take the license, we must approach with HP company. So Selenium is a open source, QTP is a commercial and cost. So automation means the process of converting test cases into test script. So we can write some programs. Scripting means we can write some programs, JavaScript, Perl script, PHP, any language we can use it. So what is the language it supports? What is the language it supports? QTP supports only the VB script. If you want to write the programs in QTP, must and should first we can learn VB script. After that you can write the programs. What about Selenium? Selenium supports multiple languages. It supports Java, C Sharp, Perl script, PHP, Ruby, Python. So Selenium supports multiple languages. It supports Java, it supports C Sharp.NET, it supports Perl script, PHP, Ruby, Python. Whereas QTP supports only the VB script. And what about the operating systems? Which operating system is compatible with QTP? QTP is compatible with only Windows. Yes, it is only compatible with Windows and that to the server edition only. It is not possible to install XP version 7, 10 like that. Only servers, 2003 server edition like that. Server editions only it will support. But Selenium supports Windows, Linux, Mac. Three operating systems it will support. What about the browsers? Generally, if you want to open any web application, first we need to open one browser, either IE or Firefox or Google Chrome. Any one browser is required. So by using QTP, we can able to automate IE is possible, Firefox is possible, and Chrome browser. By using three browsers, we can automate any application. What about Selenium? It supports IE, Firefox, Chrome, Opera, and Safari. Extra two browsers it will support. And what about the applications? Generally, we are automating three types of applications. One is desktop application, web application, and mobile application. Web means Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Facebook, all these are the, if any net is available, simply you can open it, execute. That is called as a web application. Desktop means within a single system we can install. That is called as a desktop. In our mobile, some applications are there. WhatsApp, Skype, all these are called as mobile applications. So by using QTP, we are able to automate desktop applications, web applications, and mobile applications also. But what about the Selenium? By using Selenium, we are automating only web and mobile applications only. The only one drawback of Selenium is it does not support the desktop applications. Yes, that is the drawback of the Selenium. It does not support the desktop applications. Only web and mobile it supports. But there is some alternative is there in Selenium. Nowadays, Selenium 2 is there. In that, there is one open source tool. That tool is Sikuli. Sikuli is also one of the open source tool developed by using Java. Developed by using Java. Yes, that is also one of the open source, free of cost. Okay. By using this, it is also one of the automation tool. So whenever I can install Sikuli into my Selenium, automatically we can handle desktop application also. Yes, with the help of Sikuli, we can handle. But directly, Selenium does not support the desktop application. With the help of Sikuli, it is possible. Due to this reason, we are going to use Selenium, and it is more flexible and extendable. QTP is less flexibility and extendability. Flexible means Selenium is flexible with multiple languages, multiple operating systems, multiple browsers. Whereas QTP is flexible with only one language, only one operating system, limited browsers. That is called as flexibility. Extendable means we are using Selenium with Java. Java is an extendable language. Initially core Java, advanced Java, in that J2E, EJB, servlets, JSP, frameworks, Hibernate Spring, Java, they are extending their language, whereas in VB script, it is not extendable language. In golden days, in .NET, VB.NET is there, but nowadays in .NET only C#.NET, ASP.NET, and Deriva.NET. So this is the reason why the companies are using Selenium. Means these are all the advantages of Selenium. Main thing is open source, multiple languages it will support, multiple operating systems, multiple browsers, both web and mobile. The only one drawback is Selenium does not support desktop applications. That's why we go for the Selenium. Next, fine. So we are automating the web application by using Selenium. Next, my question is, what kind of web applications can we automate by using Selenium? What kind of web application can we automate? Web application means generally we can use either Java. Suppose one application is there, it is developed by using Java. One application is there, it is developed by using .NET. One application developed by using PHP. One application by using some another language. So multiple applications are there. They can use different language, Java application, .NET application, PHP application, like that. So in all these, what kind of web application can we automate by using Selenium? Okay, by using Selenium, all kinds of web applications we can automate by using Selenium. Any kind of web application. If it is a web application or not, that is only the important thing. So any application we can automate by using the Selenium. So that is, first of all, what is a Selenium? Selenium is an open source automation tool. What is automation? The process of converting test cases into test script. What are the advantages? How many types of tools are there? Why we go for Selenium is these are all the differences. What kind of web application can we automate? All kinds of web application we can automate. Next, my question: when to start automation for a project? When to start automation for a project? So whenever we go for automation means whenever the build is stable. Build means our application. Generally, in technical words, build means the set of integrated modules is an executable form of application is called as a build. So whenever the build is stable, to save the regression testing time, then we go for automation. So what is the regression testing? It is in the term of manual testing part. Regression means we can check every test case, all the test cases in every modified build. Suppose there are 500 test cases are there. First build I am executing. Some defects are there. I am intimated to the developer. They can resolve it, given to the testing unit. Again, modified build. Again, I can execute all these 500 into my modified build. Third build, fourth build. Every time I can execute all these. That is called as regression. Repeatedly, I can execute the all test case on every build. So when we go for whenever the build is stable, to save the regression testing time, then we go for automation. So when to start automation for a project? Whenever the build is stable, to save the regression testing time, then we go for automation. Now, up to here, fine. What Selenium? Why Selenium? What kind of application we can automate? When to start automation? So whatever the components are there in Selenium, what we have to learn? What are the components in the Selenium? Selenium is majorly built with 4 components. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, WebDriver. These are all the major 4 components in the Selenium. So in entire my course, I will explain all these 4 to all of you. IDE, RC, WebDriver and Grader. So first, today I will give just only brief introduction part. Okay, next class, in detail I will explain. So first component is Selenium IDE. Generally IDE means IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. That is IDE. So it is only for record and run the script. Whereas QTP feature is record and playback. In QTP, record and playback is there. Same like that here also, it is for recording and run the scripts. You can record everything, whatever the actions you can perform, you can record, and everything you can execute on that browser. So integrated development environment, it is purely for record and run the script. And that too, it is only add-on for Firefox. Yes, you can observe in differences I explained. Selenium is compatible with multiple browsers: IE, Firefox, Chrome, Opera, and Safari. Okay, but Firefox is compatible with which browser? Only the Firefox. Yes, we can install only in the Firefox browser. You can install only in Firefox. So IDE is for recording and running purpose. It is only add-on for the Firefox. We can install only in the Firefox. So why this means? It is accountable for User actions means whatever the actions we are performing, everything will be recorded. Everything. Suppose if you open the one browser, you can open Gmail, enter a username, password, click on sign in, click on sign out. Everything will be recorded. So it is accountable for user actions. Whatever actions we are performing, everything will be recorded. And what is the language? By default, which language it will recorded? So by default, it will record in HTML language. See, Selenium supports multiple languages. What are the languages? Java, C Sharp, .NET, sorry, C Sharp .NET, Perl script, PHP, Ruby, Python. Sorry, I missed the HTML. Sorry. It supports HTML also. Seven languages it will support. Seven languages. But what about IDE? By default, IDE will record. See, some entry times, this is the main questions. By default, what is the language in IDE? IDE by default recorded in HTML language. Suppose if you want to convert into multiple languages, the, it is also possible. It is possible to convert HTML language into other languages also. It is possible to convert that HTML language into other languages also. Please wait 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So IDE is integrated development environment. It is only for the recording and run the scripts. It is add-on for the Firefox. We can install only in the Firefox browser. It is accountable for all the user actions. Whatever the actions we are performing, everything will be recorded. By default, it will be recorded in HTML language. And it is possible to convert that language into other languages also. But one condition, but the recorded language can't be executed in IDE. Yes, whatever the converted language, it is not possible to execute in IDE. Yes, suppose if I want to convert HTML into RC, you can convert it, and not possible to into IDE. Only you can run in the RC program. Suppose if you are converted into WebDriver, yes, you can run into WebDriver only. It is not possible to execute in IDE. So conversion is possible, but execution is not possible in IDE. So that is a brief description about IDE. So next class I will explain detailed how to install IDE, how to record single scenario, how to record multiple scenarios, how to convert this language HTML to other language. Everything I will explain. Okay. The second component is Selenium RC. RC means remote control. RC means remote control. It is Selenium 1. The first version of the Selenium is called as a Selenium RC. The first version that is called as Selenium 1. It is also known as Selenium 1. It is a server. It is a one server. It launches all the browsers, but only one browser at a time. It will execute the script and it will close the browser. It is a server. It launches all the browsers, but only one browser at a time. Executes the program, then close the browser. Yes, it acts as API, application programming interface. It is the interface between the test engine and application. Suppose if you want to operate TV, ACs, everything, one remote control is there. That is an interface between you and your TV and your AC, everything. Same like that, it is also a server. It launches all the browsers, but only one browser at a time. It acts as an API, application program interface. The first version, whenever they introduce, there are some disadvantages, limitations are there. So what are the limitations in RC? While writing the scripting, while executing the program, practically I will show the problems. Okay, these are all the problems in RC. That's why they are given WebDriver. So generally, what are the problems? I will give one or two examples. Suppose at the time of execution of the program, if I launch any browser, suppose if I launch any Firefox, if manually if I am clicking on Firefox, it will open like this. If I can click on, it will open like this. But if I open in RC, it will open like this in minimize state. Yes, it will open in the minimize state. Like this, it will open. So it is not possible to see the execution. Like this, it will open. Minimize mode, it will open. So we have to maximize it in RC. That is the first problem. If you run the program, it will open in the minimize state. Before browser, it launches one window, command history window. So like that, some disadvantages are there. All this I will explain at the time of execution time of the programs. Live examples I will explain practically. So whatever the problems they identified in RC, all these are overcome and given the next version that is called as WebDriver. WebDriver means the advanced version of RC is known as WebDriver. Yes, it is Selenium 2. The advanced version of RC is known as WebDriver Selenium 2. So whatever the limitations which are identified in RC are overcome and given added advantages. So whatever the limitations they identified in RC, all those are overcome and given added advantages. See, in WebDriver also, it is possible to launch all the browsers. It is possible to launch all the browsers. But here also, only one browser at a time. Yes, here also you can launch only one browser at a time. Suppose there is one program is a Gmail login logout. If I want to execute in one browser, yes possible. Suppose the same program I want to launch in all browsers. At a time I want to launch in Firefox, Google Chrome, Opera, Safari and IE. Not possible. Only one browser it is possible. Yes, Bhargavi, any doubts? No. Okay. So RC WebDriver, okay, fine, up to here. Yeah, Bhagesh, tell me, any doubts? Okay, once I complete it, I will ask if you have any doubts, questions, queries. I will give some time. Okay, at the end of the session. So in RC WebDriver, I don't have any knowledge of testing. Okay. So if you want to go for testing, means Bhagesh, then first you can go for manual testing. After that, you go for the automation. Directly, you don't go for the automation. Yeah, no problem. You can start with Selenium. After that, you can attend my classes. I have multiple classes are there. Okay. Once you complete the Selenium, after that you can go to the manual also. Why? Because if there is zero knowledge means both are required. Manual plus Selenium is required. If who is having the manual knowledge, then you can go directly only for the Selenium. So you can see RC and WebDriver, it is possible to launch only one browser. Suppose I want to perform parallel execution, then we go for grid. It is for parallel execution, means we can launch all the browsers parallelly and executes the scripts parallelly. It is for parallel execution. We can launch all the browsers parallelly and execute the script parallelly. The main purpose is we can save the execution time. Maximum we can launch 5 browsers at a time. So grid is for parallel execution. If you want to run one program in multiple browsers at a time, then we go for the grid concept. So I will go for all these four components. First I go for IDE and I go for RC, go for WebDriver and grid. The real time very important is WebDriver. In WebDriver I go for some frameworks. First I can go for JUnit and then go for TestNG, and after that how to develop one own framework. So what is a framework? How many frameworks are there? How to develop your own framework? After that, along with this, I will explain this is the SQLi to handle the desktop applications also. These are all extra concepts I will explain. JUnit, TestNG, one own framework and SQLi. Once my course was completed, at the end of the session, last 4 or 5 sessions, I will give the real-time implementation of a project. Those concepts are how to create a Maven project. These are the additional concepts I will explain. Then compare with other trainers, I will give how to create a Maven project. How to create a Maven project. What is the Jenkins? Continuous integration of application, and how to real-time implementation of a project. So along with these 4 components, IDE, RC, WebDriver, Grid, I go for Maven, Jenkins, and how to automate a one real-time application I will explain. So these 3 are the some additional concepts. Generally in Selenium, these are all the 4 components are there. IDE, RC. RC was already deprecated, but why it was deprecated? What are the limitations are there? What are the disadvantages? We will discuss all these, and what are the advantages in WebDriver. The latest version is WebDriver Selenium 2. So in this WebDriver, I will explain JUnit, TestNG, how to develop an own framework, and SQLi. After that, grid concept. Finally, at the end of the session, I will go for these concepts: Maven project creations, how to use the Jenkins concept, how to implement the real-time projects. In training classes, we code is something, but in real time, there is a different format to write the programming. That's why I'm telling real-time implementation of a project I will explain. So that is about the introduction part of the Selenium. Now, guys, any doubts? Then you can ask me. Any doubts, questions, any queries?